Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is ECW. This is the show of the week and we are coming to you from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. No big deal, you know, just one of the best venues in America, and we've sold it out with ease. That is how ECW works, and that is how we are able to work under the maestro that is Seth Rollins. But one thing's for certain, Rollins, because it's the week before the pay-per-view, he isn't here this week. He's busy. He's training for his match with Baron Corbin, and once again, Corbin, his hunger to get into the ring and his hunger to compete, well, he's going to have to learn to deal with it. Baron Corbin, if he wants an advantage heading into this Sunday at Guilty as Charged, well, he's going to get it if he can beat a man who I picked to go up against him. That is right, Baron Corbin will go up against an unknown competitor in tonight's main event, and if he walks out of it as the winner, well then, he gets to pick the match between himself and Seth Rollins for the ECW Championship. However, if he doesn't win, Rollins will pick the match for the ECW Championship. So there is a little bit on the line for Baron Corbin, and we'll see if he can pull that off. But as for right now, we're going to kick things off with a match between the #1 contender for the ECW Television Championship in Bobby Roode against the Cruiserweight Champion in Neville. Alright, we are ecstatic to get this one away, and what better way to get it underway than in a glorious fashion with none other than Bobby Roode. And the very thing that he carried over from Survivor Series is here for us tonight. Bobby Roode, who of course heads in the Guilty as Charged this Sunday with a chance of capturing that ECW Television Championship from Aleister Black. He has got to do an awful lot though if he wants to do it, as Aleister Black is, as per usual, riding an incredible wave of momentum and seems almost unstoppable to take that ECW Television Championship away from him. Can anyone stop him? Can Bobby Roode be the one to stop him? Bobby Roode, of course, came close at Survivor Series, but it could be argued that the injury that he had sustained, or the fact that he wasn't 100% due to the beatdown from Braun Strowman just before Survivor Series, could have been a big cause as to why Roode was not the winner. But now, with that out of the way, I would argue, within no way of trying to say that Roode is not going to head into this 100%, unless something drastic happens here tonight, courtesy of the Wyatt family. Then it should be a fair bout between Bobby Roode and Aleister Black this Sunday at Guilty as Charged. And of course, Roode is not going to focus on that tonight. Tonight he has to focus on the Cruiserweight Champion Neville, who once again has decided to run his little open challenge, run his mouth, I guess, and say that the best Cruiserweight in the world and the best Cruiserweight of all time should take on anyone he wants to, because that is how Neville sees it, and by anyone he wants to, he means an open challenge. However, I have told him no matter what, no matter how many people step up, he must face Rich Swann as a result of the fact of getting a disqualification loss over him a few weeks ago when that title was on the line. Neville did not seem too happy about that one, so maybe a little bit of worry towards the member of the Four Horsemen. But I would also like to say that it is, speaking of the Four Horsemen, there is something actually that I will bring up later on in this show. Actually coming up next, to be fair, because Apollo Crews and the Four Horsemen will be in action up next as a result of what happened last week. And of course, he was blindsided by Braun Strowman, but I'll get to that when it matters. So, anyway, as I was about to say, so yes, Bobby Roode, can he overcome the King of the Cruiserweights here tonight and use that to his advantage to pick up the win and pick up some great momentum heading into this Sunday, or will Neville show that even Bobby Roode, of all people, is not on the Neville level? Because one thing that we would usually put into perspective is, well, Bobby Roode is a heavyweight, Neville's a cruiserweight. That clearly gives an advantage to Bobby Roode. But you look at the occasions where someone who is outweighed can walk out with a victory. You know, it happens quite a lot in this universe. And also, to think about it, Neville has fought some of the toughest guys out there. He is a two-time ECW Television Champion, two-time Cruiserweight Champion, I believe. Yes, that is true. A two-time ECW Tag Team Champion. So that's 6 belts right there for Neville. No, my apologies, a one-time ECW Tag Team Champion. He has fought the best of the best on occasions. He's fought Seth Rollins before. He's gone up against Cesaro, for example. He's gone up against the NWO. Yeah, he's gone up against Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. Of course, it was in a tag team matchup, but he still went up against them, and I think he was the one who got the winning fall in that one as well. He has gone up against some big names and some big athletes. Neville, just because he's a cruiserweight, does not mean that he should be overlooked. This is, without a doubt, I would argue, one of the most talented athletes we have on ECW. And it's great that he's the Cruiserweight Champion, and it's great that he's flying the Cruiserweight flag, because Neville, in his own right, likes to run his mouth and likes to think that he's better than everyone else. And now that he's been the champion for some time, coming up to about 4 months, I believe. In fact, just past 4 months. You know, now he's reached the stage where he thinks he can just bat it off and take on anyone. And, you know, just kind of shrug off any and all challengers and do what he did against Rich Swann. Well, that is not going to be the case. Neville may be the king of the cruiserweights, but I am the one who looks over this brand. And as a result, Neville has to bow to someone's control, and that one, sadly for him, is mine. And if he disagrees with me, he'll face another trip to Seth Rollins, because that went so well for him the first time around. But here we go, this matchup is underway now. Roode and Neville going at it. It's kind of key that both men get a bit of a win here, or something big happening for them if they're to lose, because they need, you know, they need something major heading into this Sunday. Neville at the risk of losing his title maybe if he doesn't get a big time win here, and if he does, and Roode at the serious risk of losing here, of losing on Sunday if he doesn't get a win here. Momentum is very key at all times towards getting the title. And Neville would know that better than most. Like I said, you know, I just ran down his credentials. 5 titles he's held in this universe. And all he'd need is an ECW world title, or world title of any sorts, and he would be a Grand Slam champion. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There he is. There's the champion. Aleister Black has come to play his mind games, and Bobby Roode has made a mistake of falling for them. Neville with a roll-up here. Neville looking to steal one on Roode. Cover by Neville. There's 1. There's 2. And oh, Roode just kicked out. Neville thought he had it there. Thanks to Aleister Black. And Roode certainly was not paying attention. And Neville's capitalizing to the best of his ability here. Another cover now by Neville. And Roode raises the shoulder up. Black has come to ringside. I think he's taken a seat down by where the by where the spare announce table is. Certainly did see him a moment ago. Speared countered there by Neville. And now how does Roode counteract this? He's in the ring with Neville, but he's got Black on the outside to worry about as well. The ECW television champion is lurking around there somewhere, and Roode's going to have to deal with him. Floors him there, and oh, there he is. Roode sees Black, and he's going to go face to face with the man who he faces. And look at Black, he's backing away here from Roode. Roode knows if he lays a hand on him, he's going to get disqualified for it. And now as a result of that, Black can cause all the distractions he wants and try and put Roode off his game as much as he wants here. And getting a front row seat as well to watch the man who he'll take on this Sunday. This is a real way to put someone off their game. This is a great Wyatt family tactic. And there's the distraction again. Black trying to talk trash there to Roode, and Roode, fair play to him, shrugged it off. Decided to not pay any attention to it whatsoever. Neville in position now. Up in the air. Brainbuster on the way down. Neville now looking for something big there, and it's countered by Bobby Roode. Looked like he was looking for some big-time DDT. Roode countering it, and you can see Roode is a little bit hesitant to hit all of his moves. He knows Black's watching at ringside, and he's got to play it safe. The Roode bomb there, capitalizing. Roode into the cover now as he looks for victory on Neville, but the king of the cruiserweights out at a very early 1 count there. And one thing I think is interesting is Roode has almost sectioned himself off here. He's put himself on the other side of the ring, away from Aleister Black. And I don't know why he thought of putting Neville on the top rope was a good idea there. That capitalized big time for Neville. That was a huge mistake for Bobby Roode to make. Neville now going to look to fly in again. Roode thinking tactically, just getting up to his feet. It's the little things that is causing Neville to get frustrated here in his game. And up and over the top rope he goes. Bobby Roode allowing it himself to take the opportunity to have a little bit of a moment with the ECW crowd right in front of Aleister Black as well. But Neville's used that to his advantage here to try and take control. Brings him up. Oh, good counter there by Bobby Roode. And a spinebuster by Roode. Look at how he jumps over into the cover as well. And there's Aleister Black, causing a distraction, forcing the referee to break up his count there. And look at this, he's making another mistake. Roode wants to go face to face with Black. And once again, he's just forcing him to walk away here. Trying to make him just stay away from him. And again, he walks into the trap. Neville capitalizing here as a result of it. It's almost 2-on-1 right now. Neville getting a big time assist here from the ECW television champion. But I'm sure Neville would like to make you think otherwise. But still, he has got to try. Roode's got to try and get Black out of his head here. He's got to try and focus on Neville to the best of his ability right now. It's crucial that he does, because he's letting him get in his head big time. Roode though, huge clothesline, and Roode's found a chance here to close this one out, to only focus on Aleister Black. Roode, the glorious DDT. Middle of the ring, into the cover. Black watches on. And could that well be the fate of Aleister Black this Sunday? When Roode's theme hits at Guilty as Charged, could we be saying, and the new ECW television champion, Bobby Roode? That is something we're going to find out in just a few days from now. Black has got on his way and he has left Roode to be. But certainly the mind games have been played here by Aleister Black. Whether he wanted them to backfire like that or not, whether he meant for Neville to lose, I don't know. But one thing is for certain, these two men, this Sunday, they're going to have one hell of a fight. Don't think otherwise. You know, this is going to be a big time fight between those two men for that ECW television championship. Has Black got in the mind of Roode, or was Roode showing to Aleister Black that there is no worry in his mind? He can take care. I forgot my train of thought. That was really bad. But yeah, is it Roode thinking that this win here tonight and the fact that he just let Black didn't pose too much of a problem, I guess we could say. He did pose a problem. Does that let Roode think that maybe he can do it this Sunday? Or does Black think that those simple things that he was doing that was causing Roode to get annoyed is enough to get underneath Roode's skin and to cause an easy victory this Sunday? We'll find out. But from one member of the Wyatt family to the other, we move on. As it up next, it is Bray Wyatt against Apollo Crews. Well, moving on now. The leader of the Wyatt family is on his way to the ring to get things underway in this one. As I said, I had some news to talk about with this one, and it has been confirmed in the week leading up to this ECW. After Braun Strowman attacked Apollo Crews out of the blue last week, well, there was no way I could ignore it, and there was no way I could let it go. This Sunday at Guilty as Charged, we will have the Wyatt family of Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman take on the Four Horsemen, Apollo Crews and Roderick Strong. So, with that being said, you know, that is going to be a tag team matchup to pay attention to. But much the same as how there was a big deal surrounding the Drew and Callihan match. I would also like to announce that this match will determine the #1 contender for the ECW tag team titles. So that is also something to put into mind. Whoever picks up the winner from that tag team match will be taking on the winners of Shawn Michaels and AJ Styles against the Authors of Pain for the ECW tag team titles, which of course is also on the night. There is a big deal heading into Guilty as Charged. We have got a lot in store for you at that pay-per-view. Don't think we've skimped out just because we've only had 2 weeks to cover it. We are trying to put together the best card that we can to make you realize, even with just 2 weeks build and with little to make you want to get invested in everything you witness, we can still put on the best show and the best pay-per-views, because we are the best damn brand there is. That's not a state of opinion, that's a state of fact. So with that being said, this will be a big test for Apollo Crews, taking on Bray Wyatt. Can he show to everyone that he can take care of Wyatt and that he can perhaps even pose a threat to Braun Strowman? We'll find out. But as for right now, Wyatt's not letting this match get underway. He's got to make Crews wait a little longer because he's got something he wants to say. And Bray Wyatt has made sure to make Apollo Crews wait a little longer, talking about guilty as charged this Sunday, talking about how whatever comes up, whatever is on the way for the Wyatt family, whatever they have to do to deal with the Four Horsemen, it will be done. They will prove that they're just a flash in the pan to the Wyatt family and its grand scheme of things. But as for Apollo Crews tonight, he is going to make him dance around the ring for him. He is going to make him pay the games of Bray Wyatt. He is going to make sure that he does not forget what the Wyatt family will do to him at Guilty as Charged and what Bray Wyatt will do to him tonight. Apollo Crews has had the warning. Now it is his last. So the Four Horsemen as their entirety. Run! Well, there we go. Bray Wyatt certainly feels confident about everything. But here is one man who is not going to let that phase him. Here is one man who is always focused on the task at hand. And the task tonight is a big-time win over the Eater of Worlds. Apollo Crews heads towards the ring here. And he is looking as, I guess you could say, as bubbly and as full of energy as he always is. He knows what happened last week was, had a big effect on him. And I imagine he has built up that energy within him, and he's going to use it here tonight. Wyatt's come out of the bat, and he wants to go right for him. Both men hit hard into the ramp there, and Crews now and Wyatt again, things underway on the outside. Let's see what'll happen as we're still waiting for the bell to ring, to be fair, in this one. Crews kind of had to act in, I guess, a momentary lapse of... not a momentary lapse, I guess he had to act in the moment there against Wyatt, and we're underway now. We're in the ring, and Crews is going right after Bray Wyatt here. This is what I was on about, this anger that he has pent up within him from last week. And he is using it here tonight to his advantage, but oh, Wyatt there just smashing him down there with ease. In the corner, sorry, not in the corner. Oh, up against the ropes here. And away we go for Bray Wyatt, for Apollo Crews there. Bray Wyatt just trying to mess around with Apollo Crews right now, trying to make the young Crews a little bit startled, trying to make him make some mistakes here. Big chops there and strikes by by Bray Wyatt, but Crews counters them. And nice work there by Crews. Takes him down and unloading the strikes into Bray Wyatt. I imagine Wyatt loves loves being struck. I imagine sometimes he loves it when his opponent takes out their anger on him, because it just makes Wyatt's job that bit more fun to do in his mind. Look at the strength though of Crews. He showed this off at Survivor Series, and he's showing this off to Wyatt. 260, I'd imagine Wyatt is easily. And Crews just triple powerbombed him with ease. Look at the strength of this young man. A protege of the Four Horsemen. A protege of the Four Horsemen, rather, should I say. And he is already showing his weight and his value to that group. Bray Wyatt, though, looking to try and show that the Wyatt family is the best group going here on ECW. With Aleister Black as the television champion, and with the Wyatt family perhaps on their way to an ECW tag team title shot once more, it may well be difficult to argue against that. Crews sent to the outside now. And Wyatt just watches on here as Crews tries to recover. Great though, playing possum there was Apollo Crews, and back in the ring we go now with Crews in control. Pun intended. Bray Wyatt, though, with a simple counter. Cruz does the same. These two men are going back and forth now in the quest to try and gain control in this one. Lovely bit of work there as he sends him into the mat. Cruz going to go up to the top rope here. Some 240 pounds about to come down on Bray Wyatt. Courtesy of a big-time splash. Cover here by Apollo Crews. Will he put him away? He will not. Apollo Crews, though, not looking phased. Went for the step up in Zaguri. Wyatt was able to counter it here. Wyatt now with the signature Uranagi slam. And is an advantage for the Wyatt family on their way for this Sunday. No, it won't be. He wanted to make Crews dance around for him. Well, Crews is going to do a little more dancing here. Counted his way out of the Sister Abigail quickly. And we continue going in this one. But Bray Wyatt looks like he's trying to make him pay for that reversal. Neck crank there. Everything Bray Wyatt does, he does with a purpose to his opponent. And right now, Crews is having a hell of a hard time trying to get back in this one. And that was exactly what Bray Wyatt was looking to do. What a neck breaker there by Crews. Kind of like jumped his way around Bray Wyatt to get that one in. Spinning heel kick now. Crews all of a sudden has found his way back in this. He's found his opening once more and he's taken it to Bray Wyatt. Imagine what a big time win like this would do for Apollo Crews. In the turnbuckle we go here. Big slam up on his shoulders and a twisting Death Valley driver. Crews is feeling it now. He's feeling like it could be all over here. Apollo Crews has him locked in position, up in the back suplex, and turns him around, and down for the powerbomb. Is it a huge win for Crews on its way? No, it's not. Wyatt gently raised his shoulder up from the mat there, just to frustrate Crews that little bit more, and Crews there tried continuing his anger, trying to flesh it out on Bray Wyatt, but Wyatt countered it. And now has used it to his advantage. Pump handle slam and into a quick cover to try and put Crews away here. Not going to happen. What a back and forth matchup this has become. Crews, though, is he letting his anger take over him now? Because here comes Crews on the comeback in the corner. Look at the airtime before that clothesline. Ducks under and another leaping clothesline. Crews is feeling it. Is Bray Wyatt in jeopardy here, though, of a big-time loss? Wyatt with the counter and a big-time T-bone suplex. And look at that. What Crews left himself open for a second. A solitary second. And this could be it. All of a sudden, the anger that Crews had within him, Bray Wyatt has turned and used to his advantage and may well turn it into a big win. Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt wins this one. But Apollo Crews really tested the Eater of Worlds there. But whatever way you look at it, this Sunday, the Wyatt family have the advantage. They've got it going for them. Courtesy of that Bray Wyatt victory. All it took was one little mistake by Crews, and he pays for his crimes in the mind of Bray Wyatt. He wanted to see Apollo Crews dance. Well, he did. He wanted to see Apollo Crews run. Well, he most certainly didn't. Crews, if he's running anywhere, he's running into this Sunday, and he's going to run right towards Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. The chance of becoming the #1 contenders for the Four Horsemen, the #1 contenders for the ECW Tag Team titles, must be great within them. But the Wyatt family's craving for gold always takes over their mind. And with Braun Strowman in his corner, there may well be nothing stopping Bray Wyatt from walking out this Sunday with himself and Braun Strowman next in line for that Tag Team title opportunity. When you want to talk about title opportunities, I referenced them earlier, and I'll bring them up right now because they're up next. They will be opponents this Sunday, but they're partners tonight. Coming up next, Tony Nese and Gregory Helms will take on the team of Sami Callihan and Drew McIntyre. Well, the question to ask when we get this one underway is, how will they work as a team? How are those men going to work? Because like I said, you know, they're opponents in just a few days from now. They're getting ready to face each other one-on-one for the right to be the next in line for that ECW Championship, for the right to vie for that title at the Royal Rumble. So how do they just kind of like put that behind them? How do they focus on something else? How do they just make it look so easy and just decide, oh yeah, we got nothing to worry about, you know, we're going, you know, we're going to be great friends here tonight, and then this Sunday will be all respect. I mean, they talked about respect last week, but you got to think about it. Where does respect kind of stop? Where do you reach that line with respect where you're like, right, I've got to do whatever it takes to win now. I've got a potential title opportunity on the line for me. Screw this other guy. Where do you reach that line where you think you've got to just kind of put that out there and just realize that you've got to think about you? And of course, but the problem is here tonight, if they're too busy thinking about one another, if they're too selfish in their mindset in this tag team match, they could allow Helms and Nese to pick up a big time win here and turn more eyes onto them, turn more attention to these two guys. You know, they may be two cruiserweights, but they are two guys who have made sure to try and get their name out there at any possible time in the tag team division as well. Gregory, Helms, and Tony Nese, for whatever reason, aligned with one another. I guess the selfishness and the self-loving that the men have for each other, for themselves, has kind of just made a mutual bond between the two, I guess you could say. Because one thing's for certain is that Gregory Helms is, he's very self-minded. He only cares really about himself, and Tony Nese loves to show off his 8-pack, so he's very self-minded about himself as well. Pretty much all you can say about that one. The premier athlete looking for another win. The last time we saw Tony Nese, actually, he was welcoming Jack Gallagher to this universe. No idea where Gallagher's been since then. Apparently he had some indie dates he had to finish off. But still for Nese here tonight, for Nese and Helms, a good match. Win or lose, it's always great to get a momentum and to get something under your belt, to try and prove that you can fight in some right, I guess. And of course, if they pick up a win, well, maybe some eyes will be turned to them. Maybe we're looking at the next #1 contenders for the tag team titles. That was a very weird sentence to say, but Nese and Helms always ready for a fight and always ready to make sure they show off themselves in their pristine condition in front of the ECW crowds. I think we're going to see two men who don't really care about their condition. They care about what they can do in that ring. And of course, they care about what they can do in that ring at Guilty as Charged. And we are about to see the first of them. That being Sami Callihan, the man who accepted the challenge of Drew McIntyre last week. McIntyre came out following his victory over Dean Ambrose and said that, as great as it is to be here, he wants to prove himself. So he was willing to take on anyone at Guilty as Charged. All they had to do was walk through that curtain. Enter Sami Callihan, who walked through that curtain gladly and said that he respects Drew McIntyre. He knows how great McIntyre is, but don't let that make you think that he's not going to go easy on him. Don't let that make you think that he's going to just let this one go by. Callihan is just as hungry as Drew McIntyre for this championship opportunity, and I imagine it has changed up a little as well. I imagine the hunger in both men has gone up a notch after I announced that this would be for a #1 contendership for the ECW Championship. Drew McIntyre has been on ECW for a cup of coffee essentially, and he has a chance at the ECW Championship waiting for him this Sunday if he can pick up that win. Either way you look at it, McIntyre and Callihan's going to be a close one. Two guys who know the ins and outs of the ring, who are kind of, in their own right, I guess you could say, not really veterans, but they have traveled the world. They have taken on some of the best athletes. They have gone through every stretch imaginable to get where they are today, and they are both still kind of young. Drew McIntyre just over the count of 30. Sami Callihan, I think, somewhere around that range still. So these two men have still got a lot of time to get their name out there and to make that that step up to the next stage. And this Sunday, one of these two men will be certain to get that step up to the next stage at the Royal Rumble when they get to challenge for the ECW Championship. For the winner, to the victor go the spoils, of course the phrase is. What will the loser get, though? Well, it depends on how good their performance is. That'll be down to me to think about. And of course, McIntyre and Callihan cannot get too greedy thinking about this Sunday. They cannot let it run around their mind thinking about how they could have an amazing opportunity coming for them this Sunday. What they've got to think about instead is tonight, taking it one step at a time, working together to get a victory, and perhaps getting a bird's eye view of how one another act within the ring. We're going to find out right about now. It's Callihan starting things off against Helms. Gregory Helms into a side headlock from the start there. And there's Callihan finding a way out of it relatively easy on. And he just, look at that, Callihan just kind of forcing Gregory Helms there to work in a certain fashion. He forced Helms to just run on his way, really, and showed no intent of stopping him. What a T-bone suplex, though, by Sami Callihan. Callihan and McIntyre brought up, well, I think it was Callihan who brought up the point that these two, oh my god, hard elbows there. Look at this by Callihan early on. It was at the last ECW exclusive pay-per-view where Sami Callihan made his debut, and it is at this one where Drew McIntyre makes his pay-per-view debut for ECW. They're hungry, they're full of the desire for victory. They both are still craving their first singles title within this universe, and they are looking to achieve it at any cost. Look at this. Wow, great double team work there by both men. I'm not too sure how they thought that one through, given the fact this is their first time teaming together, but my goodness, was that incredible to see. Clearly working on the same length already, and Helms is in so much trouble right now. Nice neck breaker though, and with McIntyre in now, Helms is getting a little bit of work going here. Very surprising given the fact that, you know, McIntyre is the bigger guy out of the two. But the tag made here, in comes Tony Nese now. Double arm drag, and oh, double kicks as well. Chest in the back of Drew McIntyre, and the premier athlete can go to work here on trying to take care of Drew McIntyre now. Look at the strength of him there as he hits that Northern Lights suplex. McIntyre always getting up to his feet though, always finding a way to pull out the counter, and all a big time strike will send him down. And it looks as if tag made into Callihan. Look at the difference though in the tag between both men. Callihan went into the corner and made sure to get a double team move going to continue some work in this matchup. That was not the case for McIntyre, who just tagged out. That was, you know, that was all that he did. He just made a tag out and went about his business, really. Went on his way. And now on the outside we are. This is where I thought Sami Callihan would have gained an advantage, but apparently not. Tony Nese, despite being out of his depth maybe on the outside, able to get a bit of an advantage for his team. Single knee gutbuster there sends down the Callihan death machine. But it's a quick counter by Sami Callihan, and oh, a big knee in the face as well. What will Callihan look for? Oh, here we go again. Nese is going to feel the same wrath as his partner did. These hard forearm shots, like you could even call them elbows really, in the skull. Nese trying to cover himself up to the best of his ability there to stop those strikes from doing a huge amount of damage. But it certainly has left an impact on him. Up against the ropes now, and Nese just flung away like he's nothing. Helms wanting that tag in there and just knocking again, and not by a long shot. Anaconda Vice being locked in now by Sami Callihan here. Trying to force Nese to submit in the middle of the ring. You could see McIntyre was willing him on, but I imagine both these men are looking for that victory. Both these men are looking for the 1, 2, 3, because there's that idea of a little bit more momentum going your way. Could mean an awful lot. Nese had Callihan there, wanted to go for the Irish whip, and Callihan made him pay for it, and again throws him into the turnbuckle and will make the tag into Mac. No, he won't make the tag. Yes, he will. That time I thought he wasn't. What are we going to see between these two men now? They have something in mind. Here we go. Oh my god, what a combo! And McIntyre follows up with a Northern Lights suplex there. That was gorgeous by both men. Say what you will, but it's almost as if these two guys were planning ahead of time. if they're thinking up these moves on the fly, then that is something incredible, because Nese is practically out on his feet as a result of it. And now we may see them work together again. Yes, we will. Tag made here. And they tone it down a little bit now. Double reverse suplex. And look at this. Nese is in so much trouble. Oh, deadlift gut wrench there for him. But a big time knee in the face gives the premier athlete an opening there. And a chance for these two men to really get something going. Crossbody there as Helms becomes the legal man in this one now. Big kick in the gut, and oh, he's going to go for the vertebraker. Helms bringing out something from his old times. Vertebraker by Helms. Oh God, that is a rough landing, no matter who you are. Shane Helms into the cover here, looking to try and put away Callihan. Oh my God. Well, Callihan's certainly got to do worse than a vertebraker, it seems. Kicked out of that one very early on. Helms, though, staying on the money. Snap suplex, rolls, floats over, into the cover, 1 count. But a counter by Sami. Callihan again brings a stop to whatever he was looking for. Twist of fate there. And Sami Callihan may well have found another opening for himself here. Got him in position and planting him down there. His weight following suit. Sami Callihan could well be in position to end this one and get a victory for himself. The headlock driver sends down Helms. And the cover made. But I think Helms' arm is under the ropes there. Referee says it isn't. There's the count. And there's the victory for Sami Callihan and Drew McIntyre. Your winners in this one. Victory for Callihan and McIntyre. They're working together well. McIntyre. Whoa, 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 whoa. We may get a prelude to guilty as charged right now. McIntyre in the face of Callihan. And Callihan pushing back. These two men going face to face with one another. These two men getting a little bit aggressive with each other before this Sunday. Could that be a sign of things to come? Could this show that Callihan and McIntyre will put respect out of the window for a shot at that ECW championship? Well, there we go. How about that? A bit of an intense stare down between the two men there. Locking eyes with one another ahead of their big match this Sunday at Guilty as Charged. Clearly there is still a case of no love lost between the two, despite the fact that they picked up the win here tonight, and despite the fact that there is still a measure of respect shown, well, allegedly, between both men. But it will come to a head this Sunday, and I am excited to see who will be next in line for the ECW Championship. But as for now, we know who's next in line for the ECW Tag Team titles, and it's one of the men. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's from the tag team that Shawn Michaels will fight the member of right now. Shawn Michaels going to go one-on-one with Akam after what Akam did last week to AJ Styles. Shawn Michaels believes that he deserves to take him on one-on-one. He thinks that Akam should learn to go up against face-to-face with someone and see how he likes it then. Shawn Michaels, though, is going to head into this one alone. AJ Styles, for the safety of him and to make sure that he is at peak condition ahead of this Sunday, I had to give him the night off. He was not cleared to compete either, and as a result of that, Shawn Michaels will stand alone. But both members of the Authors of Pain are here tonight. However, of course, only Akam will be in competition. One interesting thing to note there is the lack of Paul Ellering accompanying these men out. Maybe he's, maybe he's got plans in mind for this upcoming Sunday. Maybe he's got something he needs to run through with himself, and instead of focusing on it, instead he's got to make sure that his men, what am I trying to say? Instead of focusing on tonight, he's got to focus on this Sunday, and he's going to let his men go out there, and he's going to let Akam do the job that he needs to do. There's a menacing look when the Authors of Pain walk down to the ring like that. And they've certainly got a mean streak going for them. Already a non-title win over the Tag Team Champions. Akam laying at AJ Styles in the locker room last week. Now it's about what they'll do here tonight. Michaels is on his own, and he's not a coward at the end of this. There's no way that Shawn Michaels is a coward at all. And Michaels has got to be aware that this is not an easy time for him to be in. This is not an easier stage for him to be in. There is one of him and two of them. That is not a, it's basic math. That is not good for him. Michaels is going to go up against, Rezar is not supposed to be on the apron. Oh, it just hit me. It just hit me why Rezar came out with Akam. It wasn't just to stand by his side. He's making this a handicap match. Yep. He is trying to make sure, the Authors of Pain are trying to make sure that Shawn Michaels by no means is going to get to guilty as charged at 100%. And there's the tag into Rezar. They are treating this as a handicap match. And the worst thing about it, I can't stop them. If you think I'm going to run down there and get in the way of the Authors of Pain, you must think I am mental. Shawn Michaels is now in for an even worse time, courtesy of the fact that he has got to fight both members of the Authors of Pain. And there is no AJ Styles to save him. AJ Styles is in his house. AJ Styles is recovering and getting ready for this Sunday. Styles was told not to be here, and as a result of that, Styles isn't here. Michaels is on his own, and the worry on his face there as that leg was caught has just... I think that may have just hit him that he's on his own. He's got to take on the destructive Authors of Pain by himself. And it's not looking that good for him right now. In the turnbuckle, he sends Rezar, only for Akam to tag himself back in here. Michaels. Oh my god, just hoofed over there by Akam. God, that was pretty bad to witness there. That looked incredibly painful. And Michaels is going to get hung out to dry on the ropes now. Dumped down on them. Akam is loving this, and I imagine this is the work of Paul Ellering. This is something that Ellering told his men to go do, to make sure that this Sunday could be even easier for them to capture those tag team titles. But Michaels is not going to give in. As I said, Michaels, he is a fighter. He is not a quitter by any stretch of the imagination. And that is something that he is proving right now. It may, though, be a matter of something that's kind of stupid to do, because if he's wearing himself out ahead of this Sunday in this one, for what reason? Why would you choose to fight on with all of your ability, with everything you have within you? What are you going to gain from this? But that just might be the heart of Michaels. That just might be the soul that he presents. His inability to give up. His inability to say no to a fight. Oh my god. Sent down there courtesy of Rezar. And Akam can get another opening for the Authors of Pain in this one. Michaels, though, look at the way he's fighting back here. 3 punches, and there's the third. And Akam will go down. Once more, Michaels will look to go to the top rope. Rezar a little too far away this time. And Michaels, with his elbow drop, he got it on the money. This could be big for Shawn right now. He's in position. Will he strike with it? He's tuning up the band. Sweet! Oh, it's countered. No sweet chin music for you, Shawn Michaels. But a trip down, courtesy of Akam. And this is where the punishment begins now. This is where I think we're about to see something bad come the way of the Heartbreak Kid. Michaels, though, still trying to swing punches. Still just trying to throw fists at the Authors of Pain. But I think he's about to be thrown down to the mat. I think we are about to seal this one. And here it is. The last chapter to Shawn Michaels. That is this Sunday. Done and dusted, perhaps, for the Authors of Pain. That is victory at a domination. And that is victory for what we could be calling the next ECW Tag Team Champions. AJ Styles is not at 100%, and after that, I'd be inclined to say that I don't think Shawn Michaels is either. Oh, this is not going to be a fun time this Sunday. The Tag Team Champions have their backs firmly up against the wall, and now we'll see if the Authors of Pain are going to kick them through that wall and become the new tag team champions? I guess we'll find out. It is a worrying time for the champs. They've got a lot to do. Oh, it is, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see on the night, but right now, it's pretty obvious to say that it authors a pain of walking out with those belts. The man who is looking hungry to walk out with the ECW Championship is in action up next. Baron Corbin taking on an opponent of my choosing. If he wins, he gets to choose the match. At Guilty as Charged, he gets to choose what he'll face Seth Rollins in. And we'll find out if that's going to be the case next. Well, here we go, Baron Corbin. You wanted to see if you could show your hunger and your desire. You wanted this rematch as much as Rollins did, to be fair. We all got what we wanted. But this Sunday, you will quickly learn where you are in the grand scheme of things for ECW. Where you lie when it comes to Seth Rollins. But go on, Corbin. Do you want to go ahead and try and, you know, think that picking the match type will change anything? Keep going. Go, you know, walk down to this ring and try and make us think that. I'd like to remind you something. 3 stages of hell at SummerSlam. DDP picked a fall, Seth Rollins picked a fall, and a fall was chosen for the pair of them. And who walked out the winner when the falls were chosen for him? Oh, that's right, Seth freaking Rollins. If you think that, if you think that a different match type is going to change anything, it's just not. It just will not change a thing. Seth Rollins has been through too much. Seth Rollins is too great to lose. You may well show your heart and show your fight and show that the Lone Wolf can do it. The Lone Wolf can take down Seth Rollins. Yeah, we'll just add you to the list of the several who have failed to live up to their claims. We'll add you to the list that DDP belongs on. Failing to back up their claims, lying about beating Seth Rollins. And you want to pick this match type? You want to beat an opponent to prove it? Oh, you're going to have some fun now, aren't you? Let's find out your loyalty, Baron Corbin. Let's see what you stand for. Because last week, you couldn't stand to watch Roddy Strong getting beaten down, could you? So how about you beat down your own flesh and blood? How about you try and beat down the man who made you what you are today? If you couldn't stand to watch Roddy Strong, I'd like to see you try and do the same to Chris Jericho. Because, Corbin, you have got a match type leaning on this. If you think it's going to make a difference, then go ahead and win. But I told Chris Jericho, if he throws this match away, if he lets you win and play soft, he's fired on the spot. So no, don't think that you're going to get it easy. Don't think that you're going to just have to make Jericho lie down for you. And don't think it's one finisher and it's all said and done. Because it isn't. You're going to have to put Jericho down for good. Can you put down the man who made you what you are today? You can't even go 5 seconds without shaking his hand and telling him how much you love him. So let's see. Let's see, Baron Corbin. Collar elbow tie-up to get us underway here. And this is the teacher meeting the student. Everything that Baron Corbin will have learnt, Chris Jericho taught him. Chris Jericho will know the counters to Baron Corbin's counters. He will know everything to get around Corbin's game. So Corbin's immediately at a disadvantage right there. And like I said, Jericho's not going to go easy because I've made sure of it. And in the same breath, Baron Corbin can't afford to go easy because otherwise Seth Rollins gets to choose the match. And Seth Rollins, when he chooses matches, he wins. He always wins. Corbin pulls out the counter there and bringing Jericho back in. I am very interested to see what he'll do. How far will he go for victory here? How far can he test himself in this one? Guess we're about to find out now. Chris Jericho got a little bit of control going right now, but there's Corbin bringing a stop to that one. Just remember, Corbin, if I think Chris Jericho's going easy and giving you an easy win, you can remember that you were the reason why he got evicted. You can think that you were the reason why he got fired. Your hunger and your desire cost Chris Jericho his own job. And think about how the Four Horsemen's going to live after that. It would all be your fault, Baron Corbin. Imagine the guilt of the man who taught you everything you know being fired because you were stupid enough to think that you could make a difference against Seth Rollins. Can you do it, Corbin? Can you bring yourself to do it? Or are you going to have to cough up the fact that you just cannot let Chris Jericho... You can't let him go. You can't show that you are past the Four Horsemen. And Chris Jericho, with his job on the line essentially, is fighting for this. Walls of Jericho on Baron Corbin. Got him locked in deep here as he tries to force a submission, but Corbin fights his way out of it. Jericho there pulls out the reversal to Corbin. Bringing him in close here. Brainbuster maybe to the 200-some pounder. Good 260 easily on Corbin. It's the first time, of course, we've seen Jericho since he won at Survivor Series, since he got that elimination on Kenny Omega to clean sweep them. And his Four Horsemen, of course, will be in action this Sunday. But Jericho might not be there to see it. Jericho might have to watch it on TV at home, because he might not be an ECW superstar. Just think about that, Baron Corbin. Corbin, deep six onto Jericho. Well, one thing's for certain as of right now, it doesn't look like either man's been going easy on the other, and I will give credit there, but Jericho's starting to act a little bit slower here. Starting to calm himself down a little bit. Don't tell me that Chris Jericho can't take a few moves. Corbin trying to react there with some strikes. Jericho counters. Code breaker by Jericho! And he could end it with that one. Look at the strength of Jericho now. With Corbin up on his shoulders here. Oh, he sends him into the sent him right into that. Cover on the now bloodied Corbin. And oh, look at that. He's still kicking out at an early 1 count. Can't say that, definitely can't say that it wasn't an easy... What's the word I'm looking for? Definitely can't say that he wasn't taken easy, because he busted him open with it. But Corbin's moved out of the way of that one. He might be bloodied and he might be dazed, but he's still fighting here. Jericho sent into the turnbuckle, sent back out and into the end of days. Cover by Corbin to give him the match. A guilty is charged, and he got it. Baron Corbin wins here in this main event. What do I think about that one? Oh, I may have to give that one some thought. Corbin, your winner here. Bloodied as a result of Chris Jericho. And you know what? Maybe you're lucky. Maybe you're lucky. On this occasion, Corbin, you get the best of both worlds. You get the match type at guilty as charged, and Chris Jericho gets to keep his job. And while Baron Corbin will seek some medical assistance now for that open wound of his. After, it's a pretty bad open wound, I'll say that now. But, yeah, as that goes on, yeah, you can choose the match type that you want, and we'll find out this Sunday what it's going to be. But it won't matter one bit, Corbin, because Seth Rollins is still going to walk out with that ECW Championship. Yeah, he won by countout. Yeah, you can say he won by controversial circumstances. But you mean to tell me that after defeating AJ Styles and defeating Diamond Dallas Page in a 40-minute hellacious matchup, probably the match of the year so far at SummerSlam, that all of a sudden you can come along and you can beat him? If you want to think that, Corbin, you are more stupid than you look. And now that you have taken care of your open wound, you want to go on the microphone and you want to announce this match, go right ahead, buddy. The floor's yours. Oh, there we go. There's Corbin chatting. He's sick of these games that he's playing with him, sending Chris Jericho his way. You think that matters to Baron Corbin? Corbin's got to do whatever it takes to win. Corbin will go to any length. Seth Rollins did the same in the past, and Baron Corbin will do the same this Sunday. And Rollins ran away at Survivor Series in the mind of Baron Corbin. Well, there's going to be no running this Sunday when he fights him in a no disqualification falls count anyway. He wants to think that he's so great. Well, face Corbin at all times and prove it. So you can be as proud of yourself as you want to be, Baron Corbin, but as one slick reminder, the champ is always around, and he's always got... Oh, god damn it! It backfired! Corbin retaliating! Corbin sending Rollins on his way! These two men have a bad blood between each other, and these two men will settle it wherever it may be in the arena at Guilty as Charged.